Good morning, everybody. Avi and me. um, Yesterday we tried without a timer, but today, which was very nice. I think today we're gonna try with a 2-minute timer. Let's see how it goes. Hey, Shalom, good to see you.
Hey, Shalom.
Well, if you're able to see the timer, I think you can see the timer if you really wanted to. Okay, beep.
What are you gonna?
I put on a 2-minute timer, and we'll do a 2-minute timer. Okay, fourth reading, Genesis 49, 1 through 18. Yaakov then summoned the rest of his sons and blessed each one in accordance with his unique contribution to the overall divine mission of the Jewish people. These individual emphasis became the defining characteristics of the 12 tribes that descended from them. And his blessing to Yehuda, Yaakov said that Yehuda's portion of the land of Israel will be so suited to growing grapes that he will be able to wash his clothes in wine. Well, I guess it's a pretty known thing that white wine takes out stains, but red wine, I'm pretty sure that it makes stains. You know, unless I mean it cleans it purple. You know, do that. So here's the question: was it that was their natural characteristics and stuff that they really stood for, their, and therefore their descendants and all the people that came out of them, um, um, had that characteristics, and Yaakov was kind of like saying a prophecy kind of thing, like saying of how it's gonna be, or like showing it to them, or is it that because he gave them these characters, because he gave them these blessings, and told them about it, that's what made them like that? I guess we would call that nature versus nurture. I don't know, but maybe. Avi, go ahead.
So, I mean, I know they didn't have like Tide back then or Bounty, but I can't say I understand the red wine. Um, I'm pretty sure causes a stain. Uh, I don't can't say I understand it. By the way, I heard that David Melech he slept like 60 breaths. Pretty pretty crazy. He wasn't really human, I guess. I don't know who's counting, but that's pretty cool. Let's go back here. I'll continue a little bit. The Torah's inner dimension. Kibbutz, Be'ayin, Leave, Show, Gomer, something Bereshit. Genesis 49:11. I'll read the next one. Every time we observe, we create a spiritual. Oh yeah, okay.
Just speak.
Okay. Every time we observe a commandment, we create a spiritual garment for our souls. These, however, must be laundered in wine. Or the commandment. So, is this an analogy, or is this to be taken literally? My
Thank you, Avi. You kind of oh, well, we lost you. Anyways, good morning, Yitzi. Good morning, Yitzi. Yes, I understand that you called me 3 times, I think, but I did not check my phone yet today, so I didn't see your messages and all the different stuff that you did. I needed to sleep in, and that's what I did. Baruch Hashem. And that's it. I literally just got up like half hour ago. So that's pretty much my whole story. And I got here. I could have done a lot of things and stop talking during my turn. You will give me all the criticism and angriness that you have against me. About your turn. Okay. Every time we observe a commandment, we create a spiritual garment for our souls. These garments, however, must be laundered in wine. Our fulfillment of the commandments must be imbued with joy. So I think that it's literally and it's figuratively, because they were actually blessed with lots of wine, that they were able to launder their clothes in wine, or maybe they actually did somehow. I don't know, but the point is that that it's both. I think that it's both. That it's literally that they had so much wine, so much grapes for wine, and also that figuratively, like we just started saying, that wine is inner dimension of Torah, and is connected with idea of joy. Wine is connected with the idea of joy, which I think we could understand. I understand that when the more mitzvahs that we do, the more the garments are actually enabling us to see.
Sorry for speaking by your turn. I called your brother and see where you were. He said you weren't here. You don't have to pick me up tomorrow. I have a ride for tomorrow. It's not that I don't trust, I just don't want to get in trouble. Like I did today. Yeah. Let's see. Where the way to achieve you're after?
Yeah.
The way to achieve this joy is by studying the inner dimension of the Torah and the teachings of Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah, and Hasidism. For this dimension of the Torah inspires us to love God and cleave to Him through the observe of His commandment. And it is for this reason that this aspect of the Torah refers to us to as the wine of Torah. I guess this is saying that our dimension is pass. I have nothing.
Avi?
Rabbi, I should start remembering the rabbi's names, but he fasted Yom Kippur, and then they had a three after, and then after, I think Rabbi Isaac, you probably know this one. He told like one of his chassidim that he was like really hungry, so they were all like, "Oh yeah, we gotta get you not for food, for the sukkah soul, and just I don't know if you guys can see me. During like the fast day, we just had like lose connection with their physical and kind of like so to have more for their spiritual. Like people go to the wall, and like it's funny. I see people taking like the wall, but we like think about like all the stuff that actually happened, like at the wall. It's like it's horrible, and we're like taking selfies. So on fast days, people they have to watch like Holocaust videos and stuff to get, I mean, out of tune of who we are and what we should be feeling ourselves stuff to feel, the attachment. At the wall, what happened, but including myself, are just so out of touch. So maybe it's the same.
I was able to make out some of what you said, but most of it was a little choppy. But I heard something about fasting and after Yom Kippur, and this tzaddik said something. I don't know what the rabbi said, but probably said that he was hungry. I think that's what he said. And then they wanted to bring him food, but he's like, "No, I'm hungry for spirituality." Is that what happened? Like something spiritual? Oh man, you're freezing again, so I can't even see if you're saying yes or no. Anyways, some of the stuff they said very intriguing, very true stuff. I had a question myself about fasting. I don't understand what's the connection between anything that happens in history in a sad time, whatever, and like not eating. Like who came up with that idea to not eat? What? Where things going on? What kind of trouble did you get in? And I'm sorry if I caused. Oh no, don't tell me now. Your turn. I don't know what happened. Oh, you don't want to say it. Okay, you don't have to say it now. Say it later. Sorry if I got you in trouble. But this last part, the idea of how do you do Torah mitzvahs with joy? And I really believe this is a serious struggle by, I would say, majority of people that I speak to and deal with in regards to Yiddishkeit. People don't have a enjoyable experience in Yiddishkeit. It's some kind of other experience which is not enjoyable.
I don't want you saying it by the thing because maybe my father might see it and then he'll find out that I spoke to you. I don't know. Maybe I don't want it known. Maybe I didn't mean to say it out loud around here. I'll speak to you maybe later or something. See, is that connected the whole system, piano and stuff? Because Mark wants to know Mark wants to jam with me. So I'll ask you. I'll find out a time. I think fasting. I mean, it probably says somewhere in the Torah about fasting, maybe, or it was the rabbis that made it up about fasting. The rabbis did it. Well, I mean, if it doesn't say it in the Torah that you should fast, it's because Hashem knows that it's good. It's not good for us to fast because, I mean, it says that a baby, when a baby's born, he should have a bris at 8 days old, and we would think, why 8 days old? He's just like born, and like, why would we try to hurt him or stuff like that? But then scientists found out that that's like when the body is more like it has an extra energy on that day when it's 8 days old, and then they realize that God is like running the world, so like God says not to fast. That means that we shouldn't fast because it's not really good for our health because we need to eat and drink. But I mean, maybe because we won't be able to realize if we're eating and drinking, we won't realize what we're fasting for or something.
Shalom.
Whoa, 2 minutes. Radical. So first of all, I think I just came in, so like I'm hearing the conversation about fasting. Fasting is okay. I heard it's good to fast once a week, to like reset your body. But yeah, when you're fasting, it's not about the body. Even though like I feel like the focus gets pushed more towards the body on fast days than on days that I'd be eating. I'm saying if I was just eating normally without like if the whole idea was to just eat less, then I could go behind that. I could stand behind that. Yeah. All right, I'll read some from the Daily Wisdom. I'm gonna start from the beginning because I wasn't there when you started reading it.
Yes, go from the beginning.
Oh, here it is. Yaakov then summoned the rest of his sons and blessed each one in accordance with his unique contribution to the overall divine mission of the Jewish people. These individual emphases became the defining characteristics of the 12 tribes that descended from them. In his blessing to Yehuda, Yaakov said that Yehuda's portion of the land of Israel will be so suited to growing grapes that he'll be able to wash his clothes in wine. Let me see. So I like that when it's talking about the 12 tribes and like their each individual characteristics, it shows that like not every Jew has to be sitting and learning Torah. There's a place in Judaism for people to go out and work and make a living in the world, but it has to be connected in a certain way to God, through supporting or through like doing the work with God in mind.
Yes. Well said. Okay, if you feel like it's not appropriate to say it here, so then don't say it here. This is something else I want to respond to. I forgot already. I didn't write anything down. Now that you mentioned it, I think it does say in Torah by Yom Kippur, for example, about fasting. That you should not eat and you shouldn't, like different things like that. So I guess Torah is the one that started the idea of fasting. So that's where it starts from. I'm still not so. I mean, I get it. The idea of fasting is to be less physical, right? Like Shalom was saying, less into the body and more into spiritual. Are you working, Shalom? Are you in the office? Nice. Baruch Hashem. And the idea of like we mentioned about the bris, I actually asked this before because it says that Yaakov, right, blessed the individual tribes. That became their defining characteristic, like that, like this shevet, that's what they have special. That's what they have special. Every shevet they have something special. And I was asking, which one is it? Were they going to have that thing, and this was kind of like a prophecy? Like Yaakov was telling them that's how it's going to be, or because Yaakov gave them the blessings, that's how it turned out to be. And I'm kind of going to ask the same thing about the bris. Is that the nature of the body, and Hashem said to do a bris then, or Hashem said to do a bris then, and that's what made that the nature of the body?
I mean, if it says only for Yom Kippur, it only says Yom Kippur or other fast. It just says Yom Kippur. If it only says Yom Kippur, that means that it's, well, Hashem knows that we're supposed to, like, our body is used to, like, I guess God's trying to help us out and try to, like, get through other fasts and help us get through Yom Kippur too or something, like by not eating. I mean, I think that when someone is hungry, it's their body that needs the food, not their soul. But when you're saying that you should not eat because it's a fast, I just think that it's not right because I mean, most people need to eat, and if your soul isn't really getting anything out of it, because usually on fast days people are usually, most of the fasts that don't fall out on usually like Thursday, Friday, or Shabbos. I don't think most fasts fall out, but I mean, most people are usually like on their phones and stuff like that. But like Yom Kippur, I feel like Yom Kippur is probably much harder because like everyone's trying to get their soul is like getting higher and reaching their potential. But like, I mean, when you're fasting a regular fast, no one's getting their spiritual, like their soul isn't really going where it wants to be.
Why are we?
Um,
Shalom.
Yeah. The Teves in a dimension. Keybase behind Levushai began more gracious mum test it all if he will launch. He will launder his clothes in wine. Genesis 49:11. Every time we observe a commandment, we create a spiritual garment for our souls. These garments, however, must be laundered in wine. Our fulfillment in of the commandments must be imbued with joy. So, okay. So we're talking about happiness. I find that that's the most difficult part of anything because you're already asking me to do something. I'm going out of my way. I'm doing it. Now I got to be happy about doing something I don't like. But on the other hand, if I'm not happy doing it, then there's really no point in me doing it. Like, I think, because unless the act itself is worth something that it's gonna get me to a point where I'm gonna be happy, there's really no point in me doing that. Because it's just destructive. It's just something I don't want to do that I'm doing for the sake of nothing. So I gotta believe it will make me happy. And once I believe that, I should just be happy I'm doing it because I'm doing something that makes me happy. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't really have anything else to say. Pass.
So yesterday, I recalled and brought up that video that Levi Wazinski used to show you guys a lot. I don't know if you remember it, Shalom, but it's about this guy they call him the Iceman. You remember this? This guy that's just hikes like this mountain that's completely covered in snow and ice, freezing cold in Poland or wherever it is, and he climbs it in his underwear, and he trains a bunch of guys, a bunch of people to come and do it. One of the people are like makes documentaries, and you can check it up on YouTube. And basically, he teaches them different ways of breathing and controlling themselves, and he takes away a misconception. There's a very, very strong misconception that we have and this is almost everybody thinks this, and that's why it's so acceptable. I can't tell if you're busy or you're listening, but basically, you are listening. Okay, so basically, everybody's sure that if you're in freezing cold water, you're going to be freezing. Everybody's sure about a bunch of different things, and he basically is proving and shows them and teaches them, and helps them do it themselves as well, right? That you could be laying down in the snow outside, and actually that you're hot. You can actually do it physically. And why am I saying that? I'm saying that because I think that there's a common misconception which is very, very strong in Yiddishkeit and in Judaism in general, which is kind of like Shalom just said, like, not only do you want me to do it, but you want me to also be happy doing something that I don't like. That's the misconception. Misconception that it's impossible to enjoy something that you don't like. That's what I'm saying. It's not.
I want to hear what you want to say. Can I give you my turn?
You could pass.
I'll pass to listen to whatever Isaac is saying.
Shalom.
I'm just trying to stay a little bit productive if I have a few seconds, just so I should be able to gather some information. Yeah, I think that to see the benefits of doing things that are like for God, I think the reason it says something about a Baal Tshuva, like the reason it's so special is because when someone who wasn't religious becomes religious and they're choosing to do what's right, they're doing it for the right intentions because they're not doing it because someone told them. They're not doing it like they see this as the correct way of living. But on the other hand, if someone's choosing to do something, not because they were told, it's a little bit less like they're not pushing themselves as hard as the person who's doing it out of just trying to listen to the authority. I mean, I see the benefit on both sides. I just don't see how it's greater. But I do see the benefit of being a Baal Tshuva and someone who just stayed on the path and never experienced the other side. Yeah, time to pass.
So I heard once, I believe, from Rabbi Baltiel, he was saying that the only ones that are able to really be Baal Shuvas are the ones that are born from. Because Baal Shuva means to return to where you were. So yeah, there's a general more, on the soul level, but then there's a physical level. I was born from, and then unless I'm a tzaddik, right? A tzaddik, which someone that has no sins, never made a mistake, never slipped up, just does perfection. So then they're a tzaddik, but everybody else is about Shiva because we mess up. That's what we do. And then we hopefully fix it up. And that's called about Shiva. And the point of what I'm saying is that just like this Iceman Goy guy, he's able to show and prove that there is a distinction. There's a different way of living life, and there's a misconception about like I'm just a slave to my environment and that's it. Like this is the way it works, and he's showing that that's not true. You have a complete control of yourself, and you're very capable of doing a lot more than you give yourself not just credit for, than you even think possible. And that's what I think in Yiddishkeit is the same thing. And that's exactly what we're talking about. If I have some time, I'll read it in here. The way to achieve this joy is by studying the inner dimension of the Torah, the teaching of Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah, Chassidism. For this dimension of the Torah inspires us to love God, and cleave to Him through observance of His commandments. It is for this reason that this aspect of Torah is referred to the wine of Torah. It means just the idea of delving deeper, the idea of really getting chassidus and getting not just the understanding, but imbuing myself with this inner dimension. I will have joy. So I'm not supposed to be doing Torah and Yiddishkeit in a way of just forcing myself and then enjoy it, but to actually get it so that I enjoy it.
I don't think I understood what you're saying. I feel like yesterday was like a very long day. I don't know why. I feel like when someone fasts, it's a long day. Like it feels like it, but really it's not. Let's see. I'll pass it. There's nothing to say.
Shalom.
I don't know what this has to do with anything, but I was just thinking like that as a kid, each day feels like an eternity. Like, from one activity to the next. Like if I had to compare it to how it feels how long each minute felt compared to now. It would be like maybe 2 hours for a day now, like saying time just moved slower. So yeah, it's interesting. But that's like, it's very interesting to see that our perception of time itself, which is something that we're like, quote unquote stuck in like forever, it can be changed. And I think that works with anything, but I just have to give it time. And I just have to wait for it to basically develop. Yeah. And I really see like once I started working a bit over the past few months, we're like going basically joining the world a bit in a sense, that it's a lot easier to see the godliness, like if I'm looking for it, I guess, because it's all like luck over here, I guess. Even in a regular job, there's a lot of things that are out of my control. It's not a controlled environment like school is, and to be able to see it is it's very fascinating. No examples off the top of my head, but if I find, then I'll share it.
That's very awesome to hear. I'm trying to think what I think is a practical. Okay, I have to really talk to myself. That's really the point. I'm just gonna try to clarify because maybe I wasn't clear before. So I'm gonna try to say what I'm saying before. I have an issue, and so do most of the people that I speak to and deal with these days. Is that I think that when I feel a certain way, that's how I am, that's who I am, and that's it. And I have to deal with that. I have to live with that. In contrast, what Chassidus is telling me and what today's daily wisdom is telling me is that no, I have control of that and I can create that and I'm supposed to. That's actually my responsibility. Hello, Nehemiah. That's actually my responsibility. My responsibility is to create and to develop the way that I feel. The entire Chabad Chassidus is based on this idea of Maya Shalat Alev, that you think about concepts and you delve into concepts and you can change the way that you feel. That's what I'm saying. It's not that I have to force myself into Yiddishkeit and I just have to be miserable as a Jew. That's completely not the experience that I'm supposed to be having. Experience that I'm supposed to be having is to think about and delve into the right concepts and therefore have a passion, love, and joy for these things. And even awe, yes, even yira, even ava and yira. That's my responsibility. That's what I'm supposed to do.
He's up to every time or something.
You would read from here.
Yaakov then summoned the rest of his sons and blessed each one in accordance with his unique contribution to the overall divine mission of the Jewish people. These individual emphasize became the defined characteristic of the 12 tribes that descended from them. In this blessing to Yehuda, Yaakov said to Yehuda, portion of the land of Israel will be so suited to grow grapes that he will be able to wash his clothes in wine. So I guess it's saying that Yehuda will get Yerushalayim, and I guess like he'll like have to wash his clothes in wine. I don't know. I mean, I think that when he grows fruit, that's probably his like descendant or something. Like the grapes are his like children or something. I think so. I mean, when someone has like a lot of children, that's their descendant. Their descendant. Um, and that's probably what it means, maybe.
Shalom.
I think the best proof of what I was saying before is just what people are saying today. We're talking about controlling the emotions, and basically it's very easy for me to like get down about like, not being great at this right now for the moment, or like doubting myself a lot, because it's a lot of rejection, but it's just something I need to remember, that like the way I'm thinking now and the way I was just thinking yesterday, it's completely different. Not just yesterday. And it's just like dependent on, I guess, my attitude and how I'm perceiving whatever's in front of me. And if I just accept that not everything in life is going to be easy, but everything in life is just something I'm going to go through. It's experiences, and it's all going to, with the bad comes good, or what seems bad comes good. Then it's easy to be happy, because like we always say, like, we want easy, right? People say they want an easy life, and then when everything seems easy, like all the things that they perceived as being the easy things, right? Like they have all the money or something like that, and then they realize that there's other issues. So I'm happy that my issues are ones that I can deal with, I can cope with, and I'm able to work through them. Yeah. What time do we end? We need to get back to work soon.
5 minutes. Nehemiah?
In like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody
Okay.
inside.
Sorry about that, Isaac. What's up, guys? Shalom. Yo, what's up? Good morning, Isaac. Good morning, Gibson. So it's really cool. What? Hold on. Okay, go to bed.
Do me a favor, speak up, bro. Speak up, all right?
So yeah, I went out with Yaska last night. It was really nice. And by the way, Isaac, I see you saw it, but you never replied to it. I sent you a song. Telling you, I've over listened to it around this morning, probably 100 times. Not really, but like in the 50s. I literally, and last night, I couldn't go to sleep because I kept on replaying it. So like there's an 8 minute thing. Isaac, I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's a really good song. I'll share it with everyone. Oh, I did share it with everyone on FiveAlive. I spoke to Yaska. Yaska's doing good, thank God. Working on some music, working on my life, working on everything. I actually just put on Tefillin. Isaac, I'm gonna start giving you Telfies. If you remind me every day, I'll give you Telfies. Plus, I have to get my own Telfies, so that's a whole nother story. I'll just switch it in reverse. I'll find a glitch in the system and start putting my own Tefillin on. And yeah, it'll be my Telfies. Isaac, if there's a will, there's a way.
Wow. Well, first of all, I would like to respond about the Telfies. Is that you're gonna have to give some serious gelt. You have to pay for some serious stuff if you don't start getting Telfies real quick, bro. What what did I want to say? Yesterday.
About the music.
Was it yesterday? Hold on. I'll respond to your music thing right now. Hold on. Wait. Forward
Isaac,
to
this is Elokut. I can hear you so clearly.
and to wait, and to Nehemiah. And you'll see what happened yesterday in our learning sessions. You can go check it out if you'd like to. That's in regards to your music video that you sent to me a million times. Okay. I'm thinking, Shalom, if for you it might be okay, but we still have something that we gotta do. We're gonna do our Sikha in depth, Bez Hashem. But it might be a very beneficial thing for you to learn Shara Yichud from the Mittler Rebbe. It basically teaches you how to do his Bainunus, basically teaches you how to think. In short, the truth is we're already doing the ultimate by learning over here and by discussing it and delving into and getting everybody's perspective. It's literally like learning this Chassidus, for whatever. Every minute is counted for everybody. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. Cool, yeah.
Is that it?
We got 20 seconds left.
20 seconds, quickly.
Let's see. Good morning, Nechemia. Good morning, Shalom. Good morning, Isaac. Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Mashiach now. Have a wonderful, beautiful, adorable day.